The new record's called Better Questions, and the title is taken from the first line of the prelude of the record that says, "I've got better questions than I have answers." I felt like after having a couple of hit songs that everybody was turning to me and asking me the solutions to all of their problems, and I was a musician and didn't have all those answers. And I know the God who does, but for some reason they thought I had more answers than they did. And that was a weird and kind of uncomfortable place. And I realized that a lot of people have a lot of difficult questions. And that I am one of those people that have a lot of hard questions for God and for the world, and how it all fits together. And so I ended up making this record about questioning God. About believing that God is big enough to handle all our difficult questions. And honestly, to believe that God allows us to ask those difficult questions and draws us into a relationship with Him because of those questions, because of the path those questions lead us down. A lot of the New Testament, a lot of Paul's letters in Romans and Corinthians and Timothy talk about God revealing the mystery. And there is a mystery of the gospel. There is a mystery of God. And I think that we need to engage that mystery and wonder about these difficult things and allow God to walk us down those paths. And sometimes we may find the answers, but a lot of times we may not. And that we don't have to be sure of every single point of our theology. That we can get along with each other better if we realize that we are probably right about some things and we're probably wrong about some things, and we can all go to church together and have different opinions, and that God is big enough for that. I believe that deep questions lead to deep relationships. And I think that hard questions like what really happens when we die? Why do we treat divorce the way that it is treated? What is church really supposed to look like? How are we supposed to live our lives? All these questions, hard questions, are not to be feared. I believe that they draw us into a relationship with Him. And I think we may find a better relationship with God, not if we avoid all the difficult parts of life, but if we dig in and embrace better questions. Isaiah 55 has long been one of my favorite chapters of the Bible. And when you jump in verse 9, it says, "For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." God is telling us that, well, basically, He's bigger than we are. And that all that He is more than we can comprehend. And that He thinks not just, more or better than we do, but differently. We use the word holy to describe God. And when you look up the definition, it means set apart. It means other. It means different. It's not just a church term. It means something completely different than we are. And that's one of the reasons we worship the Lord. Is not only because of His love and His mercy and His grace, but we also worship the Lord because of who He is, and that He is other, that He is holy, that He is bigger and different than we are. We worship God because we do not understand Him. We can never comprehend God, and yet for some reason He allows us to know Him. And man, that's a powerful and special thing. And that is one of the things that led me to record Our Great God for this new record. And as we're putting together the new record, it's better questions about questioning God and asking God these difficult questions, exploring the mystery of God. I knew that I wanted to get a worship song on the record that dealt with the vastness and the mystery of God, and I just couldn't think of a better song than this wonderful song by Fernando Ortega and Mac Powell. And God may be larger than our descriptions, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't use our words to honor Him in every way possible. We'll use the great worship word, hallelujah, to cry out all the things that we can't find the words for. How worthy He is, how much He has loved us, how unworthy we may feel, how angry, sad, joyful, sorrowful that we may be at that time. And that in the midst of all that, He is other, He is holy. He is, in the midst of our success, in the midst of our failures, He is still our great God.